Hi and welcome to another YouTube video, and this one I was inspired by the autumn spirit, just like cozy, comfy at home with like pillows and blankets, sitting by the window, drinking a cup of tea or hot cocoa and reading a book, or just like doing something fun and cozy at home, which is exactly my vibe. And I was like in that kind of spirit, even though this week here in Germany it's been kind of hot, like weather-wise, but still like my brain thinks, yay, I'm ready for autumn and winter and for coziness. And so I wanted to build a build inspired by this coziness and this like kind of warm, cozy vibe. So I was very excited about this idea, and I have to say this is one of my favorite builds that I've done in a while. I've been recently working on a modern build, and modern is not really my forte, and so I was kind of struggling with that build. So I took a little break and I just started building just like from my brain, from my inspiration, and yeah, this was the result of it. And this one came to me so much easier, like building this cozy family cabin cottage kind of style came so much more easy to me than the modern style. So it was very refreshing and I really enjoyed the building process, and yeah, therefore I'm also very happy with the end result. I think it's very nice. Not just the exterior, I think there are exteriors out there that I've done in the past few weeks or months that I am happier with, but with the interior this time, which is something new for me, but this time for the interior I really got a lot of inspiration pictures from Pinterest. But for the interior this time I really got a lot of inspiration pictures from Pinterest. I mean, you can find a lot there about like fall, autumn, and yeah, so I found a bunch of beautiful interior pictures, like interior decoration stuff, and I was like, okay, we don't have something like this in the game, but I'm just like in a cozy mood. I just want to sit here and I want to play around with the tool mod. So yeah, big shout out to Twisted Maxi there for developing the tool mod and making this build possible, because I mean, it wouldn't have been otherwise. You're going to see later in the video some more use of it, either like on the one hand for the landscaping, because as you can see I played around with the terrain because I wanted most of it to be on one level, kind of raised up, but I also wanted to have basically a first floor that's just like a little art studio that's like ground level, where I think formerly maybe a garage or something has been, but there's not really much use for garage in the Sims, so I kind of reused it as a little art studio in the first floor on like ground level, but most of the build is like a little higher up on a little hill, and I thought that was a very nice look and also gave the landscaping that I'm going to add later a bunch of character, which I really enjoyed. And I, of course, because of the theme, I wanted to try to keep all of this in kind of red, yellow and orange tones on the inside and on the outside. Of course also white, because white is just, I think, a nice accent color to go with these like red, yellow, orange tones. Also the trees that you see me putting down now in the later parts of the video, they're going to be a lot more orange, a lot more vibrant, because I just started a fresh new save to build for this build, for like winter and autumn builds, and yeah, therefore this was on the first day of autumn in The Sims, and on the first day of autumn the trees don't really have their full like color yet. But during the course of building this build, I did switch through a few days to kind of light the fireplace, because that was kind of a struggle when I was like play testing, and I really wanted the fireplace to be lit so that we would get these little like clouds of smoke out of the chimney. I think that was a very cozy look, so I really wanted to achieve that. So I lit the fireplace, and also there was like a welcome back in and everything. So I've skipped through a couple of days, and so later in the video these trees are going to look so nice and colorful and vibrant, which I really enjoyed. Just in general, this landscaping was right up my alley. I cluttered the whole, like, you can't really see any patches of like green grass anymore in the end. I made some pathways, I made some hidden areas with like a well and a whirlpool later, that kind of fit into the color scheme. And also on the back side there is this fireplace with some super cozy looking chairs around it. So yeah, I really enjoyed the making of all of this. And yeah, then I covered the entire area around them with flowers in the mentioned color scheme. And yeah, I think it all worked out super nicely in the end. I really like the finished result, and this would definitely be the kind of garden that I would really like. That's not like, yeah, like some pristine flowers here and there. It's all a little bit wild and overgrown, and it can just like grow on its own, as long as you like keep it in control a little bit. And yeah, that was what I wanted for these people, because it has like, I didn't know how to call it like a cabin or a cottage, so I wasn't sure if it qualifies as a cabin or a cottage, because I didn't want this like cabin in the woods vibes with it a little bit, with the wood colors on the outside and also a bunch of trees and landscaping around it, so that it looks a little bit embedded in nature. Because most of us, I think, when we think of autumn, we also think a lot about like trees, and then you have like some hazelnuts and stuff that you can eat that are falling down from them, and walnuts also, and yeah, so, and also of course the colorful trees, the colorful leaves that you can like collect and dry and stuff. So yeah, I guess most of us think of a lot of like trees when we think of autumn, and that's why I wanted this all to look a little bit more overgrown. And in general, I just wanted to quickly explain why I say like autumn, not fall. I'm a little bit not sure about like which word to use, because when you're in Germany and you have English teachers, you tend to get different English teachers that teach you English differently. Like some teachers teach you American English and some teachers teach you British English, and if you use the one thing with another teacher, it's suddenly not true what the other teacher said, and so on and so forth. So that's a little bit confusing when you try to learn English in a non-native English speaking country. And so I've learned both ways to say it, like fall and autumn, but I just chose to like keep it consistent and say autumn for this video, because I just thought that autumn is like, first of all, more fun to say. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's I don't know, I think it's a little bit more clear to express what you mean when you say autumn, because fall also has like some double meanings, like I fall in love or I fall down a tree, whereas autumn is really like a word specifically used to describe the season autumn. So I'm just going to use it. Also, autumnal is like a nice adjective to use. Like I called this cozy autumnal cabin on the gallery, I think, and I guess I'm going to call the video something like cozy autumnal cottage. So yeah, I guess it has a verb, which is a nice plus. I don't really know if fall has really a verb, so I just chose to say autumn. But just so you know, it's not that I'm picking favorites or something, it's just because I learned both and I thought autumn is a little bit clearer. But yeah, now we are already on my favorite portion in this build, I have to say, the interior. And I started with the living room, and I had a reference for this living room that I can show you, but yeah, I added a little something more here and there. And I really like the color scheme with like a bunch of whites, but then the occasional like brown and red, yellow and orange as well. So I think it all went super nice together, and it's a lot more cluttered than I usually make my builds. Of course, I do usually clutter my builds pretty heavily, but not to this degree as I did with this build. But I think it's just, I don't know, summer and and maybe also winter a little bit give me more minimalist vibes. Like especially with summer, I just imagine like a modern villa in like Solani or something that really has this like classic, rich, minimalist style. But when I think of autumn, I just think like things, like when it comes to interior design, like there's so many pillows, so many cushions, so many like things to keep you warm everywhere. You have like pumpkins and like flowers, but not like the vibrant like green flowers, but you have a lot of this, I think it's called like pampas grass, something like that, like these thingies that we got with the new kit, like the Modern Industrial Lofts kits, and also the interior decorator kit. We got some of these like yellowy flowers, not really flowers that you can, I hope you know what I mean, these like whitey beige decoration plant thingies that you can put around your house. And so I really liked using them for this autumnal feel. I think it worked really, really well, and I do have trouble like deciding which is my favorite room in this house, because I really like went all out for the decoration with a lot of them. So what you've seen so far is the living room, and what you're seeing right now is the dining room section. And I think the dining room is my number one spot of the rooms that I'm the happiest with. Then the living room is, I guess, number two, but number two could also be the library. So because autumn is so often connected to like reading and books and stuff, I did give this house a library, even though it's not too big. So just like a super comfy, cozy room with a fireplace and a bunch of bookshelves, and also like some nice seating areas with a bunch of pillows where you can just like sit and read and dramatically look out of the window, as you do, as everyone does in autumn apparently, according to inspiration pictures. That's all you do in autumn. So yeah, let's just all get together and dramatically look out of windows, because apparently that's what we're supposed to do. So yeah, I added a library that I also really liked, and then there is the master bedroom and the office that I also really like. I guess that the children's bedroom upstairs and also the artist space downstairs are not as like particularly like decorated, not particularly, that's the wrong word, but like it's not as like flashy decoration, like Pinterest style, as the rest of the house is. Yeah, I think this is really like a Pinterest like autumn house is what I was trying to achieve here. So yeah, I had a bunch of fun with this, and currently you're seeing me do the kitchen, which is connected to the dining room. The kitchen is nothing really special. I was kind of happy with the amount of clutter in the end, because I cluttered it a little bit more than I would usually do, because this house in general is a little bit more cluttered. So I wanted it to fit in, but still I am very happy with the amount of clutter. I don't think it's like overwhelming. So yeah, I'm very happy with the amount, and that's something that I rarely ever achieve with a kitchen. With the kitchen, I'm really like, how much am I supposed to clutter this? Like how that's really like a fine line to walk for me most of the time, but this time I think I managed to like stay on the line and not fall down, so that's a nice thing to achieve, I guess. And yeah, now we get to the library, which was so fun to build. So first, because we don't really have these window seals underneath the window to put like plants and everything down, but window sills are something very realistic that a lot of people have. I kind of created a fake windowsill with some of these tables that you can, like, not these bedside tables, but the more longer and skinnier ones. So I used them as a fake windowsill, which was a bunch of fun, and I later decorate them with a bunch of pumpkins. I didn't want this, like, I wanted this to be an autumnal house, but not really a Halloween house, because for Halloween, I'm going to go like all out with the creepy builds. I have so much fun with building creepy builds, which is so like weird for me because I have never in my life before I like started playing The Sims and stuff, I had never really celebrated Halloween but last year when I was doing Sims videos and everyone was doing Halloween related builds, I had the best time ever, which I really didn't expect. So I'm so stoked for like Halloween in The Sims and Halloween for us builders this year, because I hope that it's going to be just like half as good as it was last year when it was so inspiring to come out with so many like creepy builds with creepy backstories. Apparently that's something that I have a knack for, which I didn't know beforehand. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. But this one I really wanted to be inspired by this idealized Pinterest idea of autumn, and not really by like Halloween spooky stuff, but still we have these beautiful pumpkin items in The Sims that just have the perfect color palette and immediately make the like room scream autumn. So yeah, I did use a bunch of pumpkins, as you probably have already seen. But I hope you still like it, and I hope it's not too Halloweeny, but still, I don't know, kind of classy, even though there are a bunch of pumpkins everywhere. And first for this for this room, the library, I had used black wallpaper because that is what had been used in the reference image that I had for like a little like cozy reading space. But then when I looked at it in The Sims, it seemed a little bit too intense for me. So I toned it down and I went with the brown wallpaper, which then I ended up liking a lot better in The Sims because it looked a little bit more soft. But yeah, that's it for the library. Now we get to the office space, and the office space is actually inspired by a picture that was meant for, I think, an entry area. But in this build we don't really have an entry area. The entry area is like immediately in the living room, but still I thought this was a nice idea for like an office space, because this office is also like situated inside of a hallway. So I really wanted this to feel nice and to feel like open and homey, but still like you can be there and work kind of concentrated and have a nice space to work. So yeah, I just tried to keep this like balance between, hey, this is like a public space where you have like a hallway and you can like hang your stuff, you have your shoes here, you have your jackets here and stuff, and you also have like a bench to put on your shoes, but at the same time there's like a little bit of that secluded space to have an office and to like write or work or play. So yeah, I guess I tried to walk that line. I think I managed to do it, but you can of course be the judge of that and tell me what you think of the office space and of this house in general in the comments. That would really be very interesting to me. And now we are in the master bedroom, which was very exciting for me. I didn't really find the kind of like bed that I wanted. I kind of wanted this bed with like very like soft and warm fabrics that had like a white base and orange accents, and we don't really have anything that had like all of those criteria that I had in my mind in one bed. So what I did is I used a white bed that had like the nice fabrics that I wanted, and then in like the like cushion area for the head, I added another like two-seater. I think it's called like a love seat sofa or something like that, that had these a little bit more textured pillows and stuff, that added just a little bit more to the bed that I wanted. The bed still works. I tested it. I hope everything is also going to work for you if you decide to download this from the gallery. My name on the gallery, by the way, is also just SunnyCreations if you're interested well, in any of my builds from the gallery. And yeah, so I added a little bit more, but I still, like, when we got the spa day update, I don't know if you were there in my like stream when I reacted to the spa day update, but I was so happy when I saw that we got a new item that was kind of this meditative pillow. And this meditative pillow you can like place pretty freely and also raise up very nicely, and had some beautiful also beige swatches. So I really used that pillow a lot in this build to kind of add that little bit more of like comfy coziness. But I really but the cushion or the pillow that we got with Spa Day is like round shaped, and we also have like some like normal pillows that are kind of not cubicle, what's the word? But that are a square. There we go. So yeah, we also have some square pillows, but those ones are classified as like a chair, and they're also like this huge pile of pillows. That's not really quite as useful, so I really wish we would have an item that is just like one nicely shaped square pillow, which with like a bunch of different colors and fabrics and like prints. And I would love an item like that. Like, I could use that everywhere and just decorate every corner of the house with just putting pillows everywhere. I know there's a lot of CC like that, and so yeah, that's my official request for The Sims, to give me a pillow, a nice square pillow to decorate with, and that would be so useful for a build like this. But yeah, I'm already happy about the one that we got in Spa Day, and that is it for this build. It's almost complete. I really hope that you liked and enjoyed this video. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy, and I hope we'll see each other again. Enjoy the tour!